If we hit 1,000 likes within 24 hours, I'm giving away 500 XRP. If you want to enter into this giveaway, all you have to do is make sure you press the like button, make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you comment something down below. If you've done that, you're automatically entered, and let's get into the video. So, I'm gonna point it out here that it's been a pretty big month. And really, the last couple of days have been very, very interesting for regulation and for a lot of this macroeconomical stuff. Now, one of the things people are very often debating about is what type of interest rates a country should have and what would be good for the time of crisis right now. And a lot of Jerome Powell's statements were kind of received with a lot of confusion, right? We saw that a couple of weeks ago, I think 1 week ago or so. But here, Federal Reserve now targets inflation above 2%. Bitcoin breaks 11,000. Federal Reserve officials said Wednesday they would hold U.S. interest rates at close to zero and work to push inflation above 2% for some time. Federal Open Market Committee keeps interest rates unchanged close to zero at 0.25%, according to its statement. Panel agrees to maintain accommodative monetary policy until inflation climbs above 2% for some time. And the central bank will increase holdings of U.S. Treasury securities and mortgage-backed securities, quote, at least at the current pace to sustain smooth market functioning and help foster accommodative financial conditions, end quote. Projection materials released with these statements show officials, on average, expect rates to remain close to zero throughout 2023. And on average, officials don't expect 2% inflation until 2023. So basically here, the situation, to kind of clear it up for some people, they want to target something, and for some time here does not mean for the next 3 months or something like that. Basically, these are changes that happen over a couple of years, and that's basically what they're saying here. But it just kind of means they will allow the inflation to go above this point. Economists weren't expecting Fed officials to make any changes to U.S. interest rates, which in March were cut close to zero on an emergency basis, as the devastating economic toll of the CV started to become clear. Now, I've explained to you guys multiple times how in macroeconomics, and I guess in any normal economics, whatever, it's very obvious why somebody would cut down the interest rates. Let me just give you a very, very brief explanation here. If you cut down interest rates, if you put them lower, you're incentivizing people to take loans and invest, right? You're kind of letting people get away from saving because saving does not give you as much anymore, but you're letting people have a kind of an incentive to borrow, and thus these companies will borrow more, invest more, and kind of, get more income for the people, so they spend more because they also will not save more and such, and you kind of get a good loop and circle. However, this only works when your interest rate is above zero. If it gets to zero or to minus, things become a little bit more difficult, like I've explained before. But since that's not the situation for today, let's not go too deep into it. The second part of it was, of course, the inflation, which normally is around 2, but never really 2. It's always just a little bit below it. And when the statement came out, people were really kind of confused because we thought it would be a lot higher, which to a certain degree is good, right? I mean, a higher inflation rate is not necessarily bad if we're expecting it, right? And here, I believe everybody was expecting it. And if they say, we're going to go for a 2% inflation when everybody thinks it should be, 2.4 or 5%, as an example, yeah, then it's a little bit strange because you're like, well, why? And then things start to get bad. However, that's just one part of it. Let's go over into some XRP stuff. XRP Crypto Wolf just posted, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is disappointed by India's flip-flop on cryptocurrency. Brad Garlinghouse said it's hamstringing a nascent crypto industry, which could serve one of the biggest populations of unbanked/underbanked citizens. And this article and what Brad Garlinghouse said here is really not hitting close to home, but really, really close to the truth, at least how it should be, in my opinion. So he says it really here. It's just a literal quote. Disappointing to see India flip-flop on crypto, hamstringing a nascent industry which could serve one of the biggest populations of and underbanked citizens. It's a reply to Bloomberg, which posted, India plans to introduce a new law banning trade in crypto, unlike Asian peers that have chosen to regulate the fledgling market. Yeah, so we know Ripple has a very big position in India. I think they also got an office in something like Mumbai, right? I believe so. But India is also very, very familiar with cross-border remittances, very familiar with under and unbanked people, and thus it's really strange they're having such an attitude against crypto. You would really think a country like India would open their arms wide and receive all this fintech and crypto stuff, but no, they're kind of 50-50 and they're changing their opinions all the time, where it's like, first of all, they ban crypto altogether, then they're like, well, yeah, let's not ban crypto, and then boom, they ban crypto trading, and it just kind of goes back and forward. It's not really straightforward. It's very annoying, and it's not even annoying for us, as I guess people who don't live in India, like 95% of people watching, but for some of the guys, maybe you're watching from India, yeah, it's just very inconvenient, because, I mean, it's stopping a lot of people in the country from doing something bigger or better or different. In 2013, MicroStrategy CEO said Bitcoin's days are numbered. Today, his company owns $425 million worth of Bitcoin. That's pretty ironic. In 2013, MicroStrategy CEO predicted Bitcoin's dead. In 2020, he called it a legitimate investment asset, and his company bought $425 million worth of Bitcoin in just a month. Yeah, I'm just going to say it out loud right now, guys. It's the truth. It's exactly the truth, to be honest with you. All right, a lot of people at first thought, yep, Bitcoin is going to go nowhere. Bitcoin is going to go this or that or this or that. But no, in the end, I believe most of the people know that it's the future and you can't really stop it. All right, it's kind of a fact. You know, if you want to try stop it, you go right on ahead, but you can't. All right, all you can say is, yeah, it's not going to be good, but boom, you just get patted on the face as you're most likely going to be wrong. Michael Saylor tweeted out, Bitcoin days are numbered. It seems like just a matter of time before it suffers the same fate as online gambling, which I don't really agree with either. What's the fate from online gambling? It's being done enormously much, so I don't get it. However, it's fun to see these tweets from 7 years ago, right? And that kind of reminds me to maybe people should start clearing their old tweets. You know, because if I were to check one of my personal Twitters from back in 2012 or something like that, kind of awkward, not gonna lie. All right, if somebody took that Twitter and checked it all, I mean, there's no strange stuff on there which nobody can see, because I mean, otherwise I would have deleted it. It's just it was a different time, right? And that's also kind of the case with Michael here. If you're such an important guy and you're making such important tweets, like saying Bitcoin is most likely going to be over, and you're wrong, yeah, that kind of sucks, right? Because people lose their faith in you then, because you pointed out something like that, which really wasn't the case. And it's kind of funny to change opinions 180% this way, right? But again, it's nothing bad. It's only good stuff, because them changing their opinion, I can only see as a good thing. Also, I only now noticed that Bloomberg Crypto has the crypto handle on Twitter. That's pretty damn juicy. I wonder how they did it. How did they get that handle? How much did they have to pay for that? Same for business here. How much do they have to pay for those names? Or do they just have an agreement with Twitter where they can get it because of some trademark? Or otherwise, how did they do it? Or were they the first ones? Definitely not. Look at this, November 2017. How did they do it, though? Must have cost a lot of money. Kevin Bledsoe just posted on Twitter, Ripple party bus was spotted outside of the Federal Reserve headquarters in Washington. XRP Productions, is this a reaction from Ripple to the Bitcoin bus? And of course, this is just a joke, but I found it quite funny. All right, and the main reason for that is this was sent to me quite a lot of times today, I believe like 3 or 4 times, on the idea that it's true. On the idea that what we're seeing right now in front of our eyes is something real, even though it clearly does not look real, and the bus is obviously, I mean, everything here is looking pretty dumb. Isn't there a really big, whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's just, you gotta kind of understand for yourself that a lot of the stuff that people post is fake, And try working on that, guys. Try working on spotting the real and the fake from each other. It's important. XRP Yoda said, "Today is the last day I will ever try and educate anyone on XRP. People who don't want to listen will always remain uneducated. I forgive them, but they've become shelved in my life." And I'm kind of wondering if you guys agree with all of this, right? I'm not so much sure that he unfollowed me possibly. Let's hit that button as well then. Today is the last day. Yeah, and I'm not quite sure I agree with this. I think you should keep educating people even though they don't reward you for it, because eventually they'll notice they were wrong with something most likely, and they'll really reward you greatly for it, or maybe not reward you, but at least the satisfaction in your head is really great. I will always try to educate people on things that I can educate them on, because I mean that's at least one of my life goals. I think that's something that's pretty damn cool to do. And why would you stop it, right? If these people want to stay ignorant, you can skip some individuals, but you will always find people who are genuinely interested in something you know something about. So always keep doing it, and I don't agree you should keep telling people things. But again, that's everybody's own opinion. You do what you want. And then Ripple posted some stuff, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later. Same for this one, Morgan Stanley, yada, yada, yada. Guys, hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, and I will definitely see you guys again in another one. Enjoy your day, everybody. Have a nice one.